speaker on? Why is it not coming up? Oh, right, there it goes. Right, here we go.
The world is changing all the time, and you know it ain't right. Yeah, I know you think twice. And love, it takes you on a ride and leaves you with no respite. Well, I think I've done my time, but I don't want to cry.
Yeah, I think that's enough of that shite, love. Let's get back to Friday night with All In. It's John and Ben. The party season's here. Your party is right with you now. It's All In.
Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me when I'm falling. Cover up my scars, flip the handlebars. Crashing in my car, wake up in a bar. I'll be a superstar, just on my avatar. This world is so bizarre, empty out the reservoir. Yeah, I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? Sometimes you need to let loose, grab juice, get goose, tattoos, taboos, get screwed. Loosen up, buttercup, all those hate comments will never make you feel enough. We're all adequate graduates, heart full of calluses, but we know calculus. Damn, ain't that fabulous? Can't wait to apply all those mathematicus. But we can't get a job that pays us enough. I'm about to pop off. Fuck you, you're lost. We all know that we never really want a boss. So I'ma do what I want to, something I can't undo. Yeah, I'ma do what I want to, something I can't undo. I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me?
Terrorism hits the streets of London, Ben. Terrorism, I say. ULE's camera damaged by improvised explosive device hours after it was installed. Counter-terror police investigating incident in Sidcup, South London.
Sidcup. Nothing exciting ever happens
Not
in Sidcup.
freaking terrorism. Somebody's set a bloody ULEZ camera on fire. That's what's happened.
John, you did so well until you didn't do the mixed minus. Yeah.
Oh,
It's so well.
Oh, okay.
So
I get too
well.
much to
Look,
do.
there they go.
Right.
Echo.
Yeah, well, that shut up. That's finished. It won't be echo anymore. There you go. Well, anyway, just treat it as reverb.
I don't recall being from Finland. What are you talking about? It's Finnish.
It's Finnish. It's Finnish. Who's Finnish? So there you go. Bloody somebody blows up a ULEZ camera and suddenly it's terrorism. Yeah.
So what you're telling me is the Blade Runners were once again out.
Well, yeah, now they're obviously going to be targeted as terrorists.
Of course they are.
But as they say, Ben, one man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter.
Hi, Nelson Mandela. Rest in peace.
There you go.
Well, yes. There you go. John.
Ben.
Is it normal for police to randomly start pulling people over for random drink driving checks at 11 o'clock in the morning?
Yes.
Because I'll explain to you the scenario.
No, it's not.
I'll give you.
It's not really, mate. It's not. It felt right.
It gets better
Well,
because I haven't told you everything.
okay, tell me the scenario.
Okay, so my little girl's poorly this morning, as you know, so I had to go pick her up from school.
Mhm.
And on my way back, I'm driving, not breaking any speed limits or anything like that. All of a sudden, a police officer jumps out in front of my car.
Yeah, okay. That's
I'm not joking.
Right, okay.
Jumped out in front of my car and started doing this at me. I'm doing 30 miles an hour. I could have killed the fucker.
I would have.
Right,
I think I would have. I mean, right, hold on a minute. I mean, I have some experience in this area, okay?
Yeah.
So, if you want to stop a car, right,
Mm-hmm.
you step out onto the road, right?
Mm-hmm.
Probably not right in front of the car, especially if it's still traveling at speed, and you put out your upstretched hand, like so.
I didn't do that, no.
That's all you do. You don't wave at the person.
No.
That doesn't mean stop.
Anyway, I slammed my brakes on.
Yeah.
And I think he did it on purpose. I think this might be Sussex Police's new way of looking at your reactions, putting their own life at risk, jump in front of the car. If he hits the brake quickly and doesn't kill me, he must not be a drink driver.
Oh my God. Right, hold on a minute. I know you live in a somewhat retirement town, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
So from what you've said, it's 11 o'clock in the morning.
11 o'clock in the morning.
The town is comprised of a lot of old buddies, right?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Nobody's had lunch yet. Never mind school finished. So nobody's even had lunch, and they're pulling cars over and testing them for suspected drunk drivers at 11 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. Good luck with that. I mean, maybe on a Saturday morning after somebody's been on this slosh all night.
Yeah.
But not on a Friday morning.
So anyway, I pulls over and I pulled up at the side of the road, and a different officer comes walking up, and he knocks on the window and he goes, "Hi there, sir. Nothing to worry about. We're just doing random Christmas drink drive tests." And he goes, And then he goes, "I'm extremely sorry for the way my colleague jumped out in front of you."
That's a good start.
Yeah.
So are we assuming the colleague is a new start? Or is it wasn't Nana. She hasn't been transferred, has she?
No.
It wasn't lesbian Nana, no. Okay.
No, but he turns around to me and he goes, "Have you had any alcohol in the last 24 hours, sir?" And I said to him,
in the last 24 years.
That's exactly what I said to him. And he went, "Oh, fantastic." And I went, "Hi then." And he went, "Pull out safely when you can, sir."
Yeah.
Whilst they're pulling the guy in the van behind me out of the van.
Yeah, no, you did right. Because there are, as I've explained, there are only 3 criteria when they can ask for a breath test, and none of them is a random stop.
No, I knew this.
They can ask you for a breath test if they suspect you've been drinking, And they must have evidence to back that up, i.e. they must have been able to smell alcohol. And if you provide a negative breath test and there's no smell of alcohol in the car, they're going to look really stupid when you sue them.
Yes, they are.
Secondly, if you have committed a moving traffic offence.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's something wrong with your car, then you can be breath tested. And what was the third?
Fuck if I know.
Fuck,
You're the
forgot
ex-police
the
officer, not me.
I mean, they can
Perhaps if the car is suspected in a crime?
No.
And it wasn't random?
They need to. You've either got to have you've got to have committed a moving traffic offence. You've got to what's it called?
Be suspected of drink driving.
Yeah, be suspected of drink driving, or having been involved in an accident, right?
Yeah, and none of these were the case. And also, they could see my clearly poorly child in the back of the car. So,
they can ask. They can ask for a breath test at any point.
And I would have said no.
But you can refuse unless they have proper grounds for require. And if they ask and you say no, and they then go on to require you to provide a breath test, you then have no option but to do so.
Yes, I'm aware of that. I am aware of that, but I think the whole situation was absolutely ridiculous. Now you're pulling, like you said, you're pulling people over in a retirement town at 11 o'clock in the morning on a Friday.
Yeah,
and you're saying, and it was random. It was completely random. But the way they did it, the way the officer jumped out, I could have killed him.
Yeah, that's stupid. I think it sounds like they were just doing random road checks. But having said that, if you're going to do that, you're better doing it in the late afternoon or early evening if you want to catch people.
Well, not 11 o'clock in the morning.
No.
But...
No. And normally you're quite busy in the early shift because normally you've got to deal with all the crap that the night shift missed.
Yeah. Well, you know, at the end of the day, I understand they were just doing their job. I wasn't rude to them at all. I didn't argue the toss with them. I simply said, no, I haven't had any alcohol in the last 24 months. And I said, bye then. Because there's nothing else that they could possibly have wanted to ask me at the end of the day. They just pulled... the only reason I bring this up is because of the actions of that officer just jumping in front of my car.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if I had not been able to brake in time, he would have been at fault.
Yeah. Especially since he jumped from the near side, I assume.
Yeah. Well, he would have been completely at fault. And I was a little bit shook up. I'm not going to lie. See, police officer in a white hat just dart out from the side of the road and start waving at me like he's some fucking marionette. The strings have gone a bit wrong.
So I'm just going to address beats. There's nothing to stop you having a drink while you're driving your car.
Just not alcoholic.
No, there's nothing to stop you having an alcoholic drink when you're driving your car. As long as you don't exceed the limit.
He's actually got a point there.
It's easier. It's easier in England than it is in Scotland because the limit in Scotland is effectively now 0, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But so there's nothing to stop you having an alcoholic drink while driving your car. If you can drink a can of Coke, you can drink a can of beer. And when they do stop you and you have your open can, you can say, "Yes, officer, I've been supping on that can. But it's all I've had and I've only drank about 2/3. And they'll go, "Well, I'm going to require you to provide a specimen of breath." And they should say, "When did you last have a drink?" And then they have to wait 20 minutes from that time.
Wow.
Because they can't, if they stick that in your gob straight away, you're going to fail, right? Because the alcohol's still in your mouth. Whereas once you've waited 20 minutes, the alcohol's had time to dissipate.
Yeah, and that is actually somewhat of a myth, Robin. What is it? 1 point. There's no volume when it comes to the limit.
Just depends on you.
No volume. It depends on you. There's no volume of consumption. It is the amount of alcohol per milliliter of breath. One sample is provided, or per milliliter of blood, I believe, if you want to do a blood sample.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's 80 micrograms of alcohol and sorry, it's 80 microgram. I think it's 80 micrograms and 100, whatever it is. I can't remember exactly. But anyway, the thing is, some people metabolize much quicker than others. It's like, I remember I went into the office after I'd been drinking all night at Hogmanay. And I finished drinking about 5 o'clock in the morning, had 3 hours sleep, got up, was sick, went back to bed, got up at 11 o'clock, had a shower, got dressed, went to work, walked in the back door like a half-shot knife, of the police station that is. Sergeant saw me and goes, "Boy, have you been drinking?" No, Sergeant, not at all. He says, "You look awful. Here, blow into that." So I did. I then provided him a breath test, which was completely against any regulations or anything. But I provided him a breath test, which was entirely negative, because I seem to metabolize alcohol pretty quickly. Maybe you can testify to that, considering the amount I can drink.
he can drink. He can drink, and then glasses get smashed, but he can drink.
That was a mere bagatelle. Now, there was a fight. And in fact, actually, this is something I was going to talk about, because did you see that video about the Gen Xers?
No.
Oh, this was... I haven't got the video because it's quite long. But some Asian guys on TikTok or something like that going, "Why aren't we calling out Gen Xers? Why do they always get a free ride? Nobody calls out them." And then these people start replying to him. Like... "You don't want to go there, son. Just don't go there with Gen Xers." Because they're called the lost generation because they wanted to be lost.
Yes.
They're the last generation that they were the only true latchkey kid generation. Because, I mean, I remember my mum worked and I went to school. I came home from my lunch and then I came home from school. My mum still hadn't been home, and then put on the telly, watched the stuff, and when you went out to play, you had to go out and find people to play with.
Yep.
Yeah, and you disappeared all day. You came back at night. You know, you went out in the morning, you came back at night. You'd no lunch because you didn't bother. We were hardy souls. If you wanted to insult someone, you had to track them down, find them, and do it to their face.
This might be why I'm wise-ish beyond my years, because this is exactly how I live.
Yeah, right. So, where was it? So what happened tonight was there was a stushy outside, a stramash, if you will. People shouting and swearing. So I goes to the door and has a look out in the yard, and there was people sort of clearing up, and this guy jumped in a car and drove away. So I find out later. I goes down and I finds out that the guy across the way runs a kitchen company, and he'd fired someone this week. Maybe not a great time to fire someone, but if it had to be done, it had to be done, right? So he fired someone this week. The guy turned up tonight with a hammer and wanted to remonstrate about his firing. And
Merry Christmas.
I believe the words he started with were, "Who the hell do you think you are to fire me?" Right? So the guy that runs the kitchen company is probably only about, 3 or 4 years younger than me. So apparently he just gave him a leg sweep, put him on the deck, and then proceeded to go about him.
Well, I think that is probably, I mean, I'm neither condoning or condemning such actions, but
self-defense.
Self-defense is self-defense at the end of the day. It really is. Well,
but my motto is don't underestimate old people.
Yeah. Old people are. I live in a town full of them. They can be quite formidable. I tell you what, this is God's honest truth. My wife used to work in Primark.
Yeah.
And they were always told the ones you want to look out for shoplifting are the elderly, especially ones in wheelchairs.
Oh,
because they kept.
Yeah, you're right.
Because they would go into the fitting room and then they would sit on the shit on their wheelchair or put it under their cushions.
Yeah.
And then they'd just mosey on out with it.
And it's pretty hard to accuse an elderly person in a wheelchair of shoplifting, because if you get it wrong, you're going to look pretty damn stupid.
Yeah, well, yeah. Someone we know, actually, someone me and my wife know personally, her nan was notorious for doing this and just kept getting caught. That nan, that old lady, does not use a wheelchair anymore.
Right. So
interesting, that, isn't it?
Tell me about this, Ben. What's all this nonsense about?
Right. So have you put this nonsense on screen?
I have.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'm just gonna get this up for my own personal reference as well, because I haven't actually told you what this is yet, have I?
No, you just told me to put it up. No, some kind of court.
I did.
It looks like a court document from America.
It is.
Right. So I'm assuming something to do with Trump.
No.
No. Hunter.
So this is Hunter Biden's expenditures for the years 2016 through 2019.
Oh, this is fantastic.
And so this is what he spent his money on rather than paying his taxes. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So these are tax deductibles, are they?
Well, this is what he spent his money on over the course of 4 years.
Okay.
So ATM/cash withdrawals over the course of those 4 years, $1,664,000.
Okay.
He got out in cash. Payments and various women, $683,212. Clothing and accessories. He spent $397,530 on clothing and accessories. Tuition, education, and extracurricular. He spent $309,277. He spent $237,000 on health, beauty, and pharmacy.
Yeah, pharmacy. That's interesting. Let's cut to the big ones. So adult entertainment. How much?
Adult entertainment. Where am I going? How far?
£188,000. Nearly £189,000 on adult entertainment.
Yeah. And then entertainment itself, $24,445.
Yeah, that's of no consequence. What's this down the bottom? Oh, that's just sports and recreation. I don't think he did any of that.
He also spent $147,566 on legal and accounting fees.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, the life of a baller, people. That's how you do it. Yeah.
Yeah, it is how you do it. This is what Hunter Biden has been spending his money on instead of paying his taxes. So this was introduced into court today, I believe.
I didn't see anything that said 10% for the big man.
These are the accounts that we know of, John.
Right. Okay. This is the kosher book.
This is the kosher book. You're absolutely right. He did like to spend on them women, didn't he?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Various women.
You'll see me rolling.
Yeah, that's pretty damn good. You want to talk about Keith?
Oh, let's. I always want to talk about Keith. Come on now. I always want to talk about Keith.
Well, I tell you what. I'm gonna play clip one, right? Clip one,
right.
Clip one. I have entitled "The Scottish Robot," right?
Okay.
Because I don't know what it is about certain Scottish people when they decide they're going to accuse someone of something, they turn into a robot. Listen to the voice.
Yeah. How many more children in Palestine have to die before you call for a ceasefire? Over 7,000 children have died. Over 7,000 children have been slaughtered by Israel. This is unacceptable. What happened to human rights? What happened to democracy? We call for peace, we call for democracy. We don't see any of that when it comes to the Palestinians. 7,000 children, how many more have to die? 20,000 people, how many more people have to die? This is unacceptable. Where is your humanity? Where is your...
I mean, I completely understand why you're laughing, first of all. I do.
Yeah. Where is your humanity?
The irony of such a a way of delivering such a question is not lost on me. It isn't. But it, the guy's got a bit of a point, and also he doesn't. It's really because of course those figures they're unacceptable. It is unacceptable that so many civilians on either side should have been killed by either side.
Right, okay. Yes, it is. Right? But why is it any different from the Yemen, from the Uyghurs, from the Syrians, from the Turks and the Kurds? Why is it any different from any of those ongoing conflicts?
It isn't.
Well, exactly.
It isn't. And
so why is everybody getting their panties in a bunch? And I know why. And that's a rhetorical question.
Well, I'll actually give you a little bit of context to that outside of your rhetorical answer. Is that's because of what the media is feeding us. The media is feeding us what they want us to care about. It's like we don't hear about these other wars over in the Yemen, over in places like this, because the media want us to talk about Russia and Ukraine. They want us to talk about Israel and Palestine. And that is where they focus not just the nation, nay, the world's attention. They focus it on whatever narrative they wish to drive home. But the second part of my point, and do you have any more clips of Keith before I make it?
Oh, yes, I do.
Go for it.
I have the extended cut.
Why did you vote for continued killing? Starmer, why did you vote for continued genocide? Starmer, why did you vote for continued genocide? Starmer, can you not hear? Why did you do?
Look, the second part of my point is this. Even if Keir Starmer were to vote for a ceasefire, Keir Starmer goes out into the House of Commons, proudly proclaims, I declare and demand that there be... Actually, let me put the Keith voice on. I declare and demand that there be a ceasefire in Israel and Palestine. The Israelis and the Hamas are going to look at Keith and go, who the fuck are you? Yeah, of course. Apparently you're muted. No sound on John's mic. That's what we're being told?
That's right. See, this is the problem when you're mucking about with this shit. We need a producer. Right, anyway, so did you see Hamza Useless at COP28? He's like, everybody's going, who the fuck are you? You know, why is he there? It's just like, the whole thing's ridiculous. And as you said, Ben, exactly. You know, Keir Starmer, leader of the opposition of the political party in Britain, right, calls for ceasefire. So the world goes, ooh, we better do it. Yeah.
It's not going to happen, is it? Come on.
No, it's not.
Keir Starmer has absolutely no ability, power, or sway to force a ceasefire. All this is opportunists looking for somebody to throw their grievance at. And it's interesting because Keith seems to be in that line of fire a bit more than most. Because do you remember Resistance GB, William Coleshill?
Well, yeah, but you know what Keith's trying to do, right? Because Keith's trying to get away from Corbyn, right?
Well, Keith's just as much of a far left
Yes, I know
He
he
just
is.
hides it better.
Exactly. That's what he's trying to do, because Corbyn was branded an anti-Semite, right? And Keith doesn't want that. Because Keith's just a little bit too woke for his own good. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm not quite sure what you're doing, but it's quite distracting. So Keith,
There you go.
so Keith doesn't want to be, he doesn't want to be branded an anti-Semite. That's why he's taking, in my view, that's why he's taking the tack that he has at the moment. And he's not called for anything. And you know what? It's like you say, it doesn't matter what Keith does. It doesn't matter what Useless does. It doesn't matter what Sunak does. It doesn't even matter what Shuffly Joe does. And I've got a video of him later, because that guy is gone. He's gone.
He's been gone since before he became president.
But it's like you said, when you see the video, watch his feet.
Okay. That's very interesting. Very interesting. But, you know, just to round out this point, Keir Starmer, Keith, our beloved Keith, the man that probably will be the next Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. He's just the biggest wet wipe in the world, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
He's just such a wet wipe.
Yes.
Don't worry. I will call for a ceasefire. I will.
Imagine if he'd started talking back to the robot voice. It'd have been like two robots having a conversation.
I'm sorry. I do not know how to create a ceasefire in Palestine.
Think of the humanity.
My father was a toolmaker, don't you know?
Your father made a pretty damn poor tool, and you didn't he? Oh boy.
Don't you disparage my father's tool making, John.
You're beginning to sound like Alfie.
I know.
Oh, right. Now, let's be serious a minute, because this is awful. This is just awful what Glasgow Royal Infirmary did here. I just find it abhorrent. Absolutely, right? So not only would they not let the woman go and see her dying husband, right? I mean, and this was during restrictions, but hold on. We're all adults here. The guy's dying. His wife wants to go and see him. She knows the risks, then allow her to, you know?
Yeah.
You know, why stop her, right? But no, what did they do? They videoed him dying and then sent the video to her. That's horrific.
You know,
and disgusting. Sorry.
I have been criticised in the past for how angry I got when stuff like this was actually occurring. But it's reasons like this that I got that angry, because adults were being told that they weren't able to make their own decisions.
Yeah.
They were infants, and puppy government knows best. And puppy government is going to tell you whether or not you can see your own damn family. And so many people were locked away, died alone.
Yeah. They did.
And, you know, to just, if you're even aware of that, if you are aware of that, you're lying there dying and you know someone's got a camera filming you.
Awful.
Wow.
Just
wow.
Awful. Absolutely awful.
And then this is, like I say, this is why, because these people they weren't given a voice. People in the old folks home especially, they were just locked away.
Yeah.
They were forgotten about. They were told, no, you shut up, you stay in your place. You can't make a decision for yourself. And nobody, well, some people, but the vast majority of people did not see the issue with this because they cared about their own perceived safety.
And has there ever been a more hated phrase than for the greater good?
I know. If somebody starts telling you something's for the greater good, you should probably do the opposite.
Yeah, definitely. Right, anyway, let's move on to less harrowing topics. Okay. Speaking of less harrowing topics, here's our friend Hamza. Right? So the Scottish government they voted to reform gender something or another. And I'll be honest, people, I don't follow the Scottish government at all because in my mind the whole thing is a nonsense. So they're trying to put some stupid legislation through about gender reform, and they went to court.
Westminster blocked it.
Yeah, Westminster blocked it, went to court, and basically Westminster can block anything the Scottish government puts out, right?
Yeah.
As it should be, because Scotland is part of the United Kingdom, right?
It is a province.
Effectively, yeah. So Hamza gives it, today's judgment confirms beyond doubt that devolution is fundamentally flawed. I agree 100% with you, Hamza, and therefore, let's just disband devolution. It's a failed experiment. Let's ban it, because all it does is cost us money and more stress that we really don't need. And it fleeces the public at the expense of a group of people who do things like take private jets everywhere when they're not even got any remit abroad.
Well, exactly, Hamza. I don't know who we could possibly be talking about, just like I don't know who we were talking about the other day when we were talking about a potential SNP affair, Hamza.
Exactly.
Who could know of these things? I mean, John can't talk about some of these things, but I can.
Yeah, you can.
Hamza. I can. Thanks to devolution.
Yeah, that kind of shot him in the foot, didn't it?
Well, Hamza, well. You know, I'm not fit. Oh dear.
So
state of my hair after being under this hat. Oof.
So Hamza's latest thing is equal rights for women or something, and he was taking some photographs and things today, and I had to ask the question: does that involve rewriting a certain religious book?
I couldn't possibly know what you mean, John. I couldn't possibly comment.
I think you do.
I could not.
But you are wisely avoiding the question.
I've got no idea what you could possibly be talking about.
Anyway, let's move back to the BBC. And this young chap gets a a roaring ovation for this nonsense.
I'd like to ask the Conservative member of the Cabinet. Rather than blame these poor people that are coming over, being exploited and threatening them with deportation to what's been ruled as an unsafe country, why wouldn't we rather open up more legal, safe routes and options for these people to flee persecution or any troubles they're going through, to come to a safe country like the United Kingdom? We should welcome these people.
Are you living under a freaking rock?
Well, first of all, thanks to the act of the British government and their emergency legislation, Rwanda is now deemed a safe country.
It is indeed. It's a safe country. It's like it's like a Monty Python episode, isn't it?
It's like a baseball match. You know, you're running for the base. Safe.
But yeah, that boy, I don't know what his name is, Farquhar or something like that. Someone suggested, but he doesn't have a clue, does he? He really doesn't have a clue.
Well, no, because I still contend that a good portion, and I'm not going to suggest what that portion is, but I will say a good portion of the people coming across on the boats are not genuine asylum seekers. They aren't.
I would say the people coming on the boats, I would say 90% of them probably aren't. 99% of them probably aren't.
I couldn't suggest the figure, but I will say it's probably a large portion of those majority unaccompanied men that don't. Where are all the women and children? Where are they? You know, we get told about them all the time, but where are they?
We don't see them. We only see them occasionally when one of them drowns or something like that, which happens at convenient times usually. And I'm not saying it did or it didn't happen, right? I'm just saying they always seem to happen at convenient times. But anyway,
well, let me actually pull you up on that. I want to pull you up on that for a minute, because I would actually disagree that it happens at quote unquote convenient times. What I would say is that when it does happen, it is a rarity.
Very rare, yeah.
And so much so that the vultures in the mainstream press, and I will call them vultures, all gather around the dead body of a child on the beach and start snapping photos like it's, I don't know, like it's the latest craze, the latest trend, the latest celebrity. They just start papping these dead bodies of kids and women because it feeds whatever narrative they're trying to shove down people's throats. Now, am I saying they are wrong for doing that? First of all, yes. Yes, they are, because that is just so damn disrespectful. But secondly, I just think that in itself is a testament to how rare that it is, because these boats, unfortunately, do capsize in the Mediterranean, do capsize in the Channel quite often. And it is almost always, quote unquote, fighting age unaccompanied men. And when that happens, when fighting age unaccompanied men drown, you don't get them out on the beach snapping the pictures.
Yeah. Have you seen what Norway's doing?
Do enlighten me.
So Norway have taken in more Ukrainian refugees than Sweden, Finland, and Denmark combined, right?
Okay.
And now they are cutting the welfare payments for Ukrainian refugees because they really can't take any more, and it's costing them a fortune. And as you well know, being a student of the economy, the Scandinavians have quite a welfare-based economy, really.
Well, sort of.
Well, sorry, they do well for their people. That's what I really meant to say.
So what they've got is they've got a far expanded welfare state safety net, shall we say?
Yeah.
And that's at the expense of higher taxes. But year on year, we see studies suggesting the Scandinavian people are the happiest in the world, and so.
But year on year, we see studies saying that Scandinavians take more antidepressants than most of the rest of the world.
Well, you're telling me that their happiness is entirely chemically based. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
It could well be.
But still, the point of the matter is that yes, if those people that are taking out of the, because in a lot of these countries, you know, they highly promote the idea of capitalism. This is why people that call Scandinavia socialist countries are so damn wrong. They're just so wrong, because they are very much champions of capitalism, and they just have this extremely expanded welfare state. And that's people can disagree with me all they like. I actually think that they're probably the closest to a good model. I really do, because I think what we've got is kind of shitty. I think obviously communism, socialism is shit. It is absolutely shit. And they seem to strike a balance.
Yeah, but Finland and Sweden have gone too far with the alcohol stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Especially Sweden. Finland just prices it out of the market, but Sweden, you can only buy it at government-run stores. Mm. So the government have control of the alcohol.
See, back when I was smoking, I always found it weird when I went to France and I couldn't buy cigarettes in a supermarket. I just could not buy cigarettes in a supermarket. I had to go to the tobacconist. I could not go to the fucking supermarket. And I'm guessing that's a legal thing.
Yeah, but that in France, that protects the small retailer. Yes. That's not a government thing. It protects the small retailer because it's always the bar tabac on the corner.
The bar tabac is basically now a bar vape, right?
Yeah,
they're basically vape shops now.
But even so, they're always small and they're always family run. And it's protecting them from being subsumed by the supermarkets.
Well, in that respect, I've not got a problem with that. But you're right. In Sweden, it was very, very weird when you were telling me I can't get any booze here. Yeah, I have to go to the government-run alcohol shop, and it's not fucking open.
And it only opens at certain times, you know? Like, only open between like 10 and 12 on a Saturday morning. And it's like, if you miss it, that's it. You're fucked. You can only buy, let's just say, not very strong beer from the supermarket. I think it's got to be like 3.5% or something is the maximum.
Okay.
So a bit like a Ruddles. Anyway,
you know, first of all, as a teetotaler, I don't give two shits, right? First of all, but second of all, as a lover of all things freedom, I don't like it. I don't like it because I think people, if they really want to drink themselves to death, you know, that should be their prerogative. I'm not championing that idea. I don't think it's a good idea.
This is not medical advice.
No, of course it's not. I also just don't think it's a good idea for the government to be able to decide what somebody can or can't, should or should not put in their own body, and that extends to other things as well. By the way, other things that I won't use, but still, if other people are choosing to put something in their body, surely that's their body, because if they're told or legislated against being able to put something in their body, then surely they don't own their body.
Yeah, of course they don't. Well, I mean, they're doing the same thing here, aren't they? I mean, Sunak's doing the same thing here. He's stopping people buying cigarettes, isn't he?
I don't think it will go through.
Yeah, but that's the plan.
But also in the same breath, the taxation that they get off cigarettes is so high. It is so damn high that they'd be shooting themselves in the, and that's why they're not going for an outright ban. You know that, right?
Oh, I know. And people keep buying them. It's crazy. I know. It's crazy. And remember, let's just remember, people, when people say to you the science is settled, right? Just remember that when cigarettes came out, doctors used to say they were good for you. Okay? Just remember that.
They used to recommend them to pregnant women to calm the nerves.
So the science is never settled. Never settled.
They did. And if you are not settled yet, then don't forget, you can always hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course, click that share button. The share button is very important. We're trying to grow this thing, the true crime stuff, the rabbit hole stuff, and all of this as well. So we can't do it without you. And if you'd like to support us further, you can do so at Ko-fi, ko-fi.com/Chasing Dissent, patreon.com/Chasing Dissent, or indeed you can become a Veridoran refugee by simply clicking the join button here on the YouTube. Anyway, back to the show.
Yeah, and I apologise, people. I need to update the citizen role because I haven't done it for a couple of months.
He hasn't. He's absolutely slacking.
I take exception to that remark, Ben.
I know.
I'm not exactly slacking, mate.
You know that I said it so that you would take exception to it.
Yeah.
Because I knew because you're so predictable at this point.
Oh, yes. Okay. Citizens are important, and we do appreciate all our citizens. We really do.
We do.
Yeah.
Citizenship guarantees that you don't get a vote for your president. It guarantees that you are simply letting everybody know that you have accepted that we are your benevolent dictators, and you will do as you're told. Simple as that.
Right. Moving on. Let's listen to Alyssa. Now, I actually didn't recognise her at first because she hasn't.
Can I actually hear this one?
Yeah, I'll do the thingy. So I didn't recognise her at first because she hasn't got her assets front and centre. Now, normally she puts her assets front and centre, I think, to distract you from either her appalling acting or her, shall we say, less than intelligible speech. But in this case, we'll have to listen to what she's actually saying.
I want to live in an America where children have enough food to eat. I want to live in an America where people don't have to work 3 jobs just to make ends meet. And I want to live in an America that includes women in its constitution and passes the Equal Rights Amendment to ensure that women have equal protections under the law. And you know what? With Biden.
Yeah, Joe Biden will provide that. Okay. Allegedly, right? And Joe
Biden can't even provide his handler with the correct fucking date.
Let's just have a wee look at what Joe's up to these days. Here he goes. Check the feet. That's not a well man.
I can't believe he's still talking about re-election. He's actually only just really launching his campaign now.
He's not going to run. He's going to get pulled. It has to be pulled. That man cannot run for president. If they put him in, I mean, it's not a bad hit. He's on his toes. That's how people with dementia walk.
Yeah. Joe Biden has dementia.
Mm-hmm.
There's no doubt in my mind. Once again, I'm going to be a bit conversationally
they want to see it again because despite me telling them to watch the feet, they didn't watch the feet.
Yeah,
right?
watch his feet.
Watch his feet, people. Watch his feet. Right? What number was it? 5. Yeah,
he's on his toes.
Yeah, he's on his toes. Did you get that? He's not putting his heels down. He does have
he's
special
walking...
shoes on.
Yeah. He, as I was just saying before you played it again, I'll be a bit conversationally narcissistic here.
Go on, then.
We had a great aunt with dementia. We've seen what it looks like. We know what it looks like. And Joe Biden himself, since before he became president, was showing all of those signs to me. He's not a well man.
No, he's not.
And generally speaking, I think it is so disgusting. Put aside what you think of him as a person. Just put that aside. Put that out of your mind for a minute. This is an old man that clearly has Alzheimer's that is being used like a bloody puppet. He's being directed, strung up, fucking told where to go, what to say. He's constantly on the teleprompter and he can't even read that properly. And then he stutters off and goes the wrong direction and walks into a pillar somewhere and they go, everything's fine, everything's fine.
Or he just wanders off down the factory and
He
starts
just
talking
wanders
to
off.
people that he shouldn't be. And yeah. So I have to remind you that it is a winter and there's still time because it'll come back. There will be snow at some point. Remember that. There will be snow.
Oh my god, I'm so scared. Do it. Oh shit.
Ladies, your time will come. Get out there, get it done, get them in here.
Well, my boobies are getting even smaller still somehow. So it's going to get to the... Robin says he will be ready. I will be ready as well, but I'm not sure there will be much left by the time we do get some snow. I mean, I'm going to give it my damnedest to put them back on over the course of Christmas. Don't you worry about that, because I am about to go, as of next Saturday, I am back off the wagon, baby.
Yeah,
I'm going hard.
Yeah, I've never been on the wagon. I really need to look at this state of me. I'm a fat, illegitimate child. Anyway, moving on.
Tell us how you really feel about yourself, John.
Yeah, well, there you go. Anyway, apparently, according to the MSN, a 100-day cough is quickly spreading across the UK. So this is a public service announcement for you people. Watch out for the 100-day cough.
100-day cough. I mean, have you ever heard of a 100-day cough before?
I've heard of people having a cough that lingers, yeah.
I mean, I've had a cough that lingers, but never for 100 days. I mean, do you think they might be using that term to scare people?
Any time that someone says linger, right, I immediately think of the Cranberries.
I'm just a fool for you.
Yeah, I just can't. It pops into my head straight away.
You got me wrapped around your finger. Do you have to let it linger?
Yeah,
do you have to?
So yeah, I mean, you just can't use that word without the Cranberries popping into your head.
He's got a point. He's certainly got a point, because it popped straight into my head as well. I was thinking, he said linger, and I'm going, no, I'm just a fool for you.
Right. Anyway, France. Someone mentioned this in the chat earlier, but yeah, the French. What is this guy? This is the Prime they're kind of equivalent of the prime minister type thing.
No, isn't Zemmour an opposition leader?
Oh,
who
is he the
did run for
opposite? Right,
president?
okay. Yeah,
He's the Frexit guy, isn't he? He's the Frexit guy that was on all the posters.
Oh, yeah, he is, right. And he's right. He's right. I think he's right.
Well, I certainly think that a fundamentalist ideology, which is the most far-right and conservative thing that I have ever read, is probably not at odds with Western, well, it's probably very much at odds with Western culture, Western civilization. But there is a but here.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, not all people look at that ideology, and we have to be fair. Not all people look at that ideology in its most literal form. Many do. Many do.
Yeah, yeah. So the thing I'm thinking is that if Le Pen or someone off the right, even someone of a more conservative right ilk gets in, France is out the EU.
Well, I'm pretty certain Le Pen is going to be. She's at least going to come in a very, very close second, but I think she'll probably win it.
She wins it. France is out the EU.
She nearly won it.
Dead. I mean, Germany's deindustrializing as we speak, right? Germany's done. It's done. Its big companies are moving to China.
Yeah, but everybody's moving to China. Let's face it.
No,
China.
No, but this is Germany's base industrial heartland is moving to China.
Well, because they got nowhere else to go.
Yeah, but they're not moving because they want to. They're moving because they have to. That's the problem.
Because they got nowhere else to go, John. They got nowhere else to go. They can't continue where they are.
Well, they could if Germany got a grip. I mean, and they've tried to get a grip. I mean, they've tore down that wind farm and started digging up, like. It's like, if you know anything about coal, right? Lignite is the dirtiest, horriblest coal that you can do. It's akin to peat almost. And Europe banned the burning of peat, didn't they?
Yes.
So Germany's digging up lignite to burn it in power stations to try and keep the industrial heartland going. And they're failing.
I'll note that my prediction seems to be holding strong at the moment, as Geert Wilders is not the Prime Minister of the Netherlands.
Yet.
I don't think he will be.
So who has what? Have they formed a coalition? Has anyone formed a coalition?
No, I mean it's gone severely quiet because obviously.
Yeah, so they're messing about behind the scenes just now. So either someone will form a coalition and they'll make a government, or they'll have to rerun it.
I think they'll force it to a rerun.
Yeah,
I think the opposition parties will force it to a rerun and hope that the Wilders hype dies down by that point. Is basically what I think they're going to do.
It might backfire on them. It might go the other way.
It might backfire on them spectacularly. It really might. But obviously, like Robin says, Netherlands has had a coalition government since World War II. That is true. They basically run on coalition. But if they do it and they rerun it, and Wilders somehow manages to take a full majority, then they'd be pretty screwed, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they would.
Because you do realise that, and this is to the people, to the Dutch people, if your opposition parties force the election to be rerun, Geert Wilders is going to use that to say, these people are doing this to stop me.
Yeah, and he's right. He's going to say these people won't work with they won't work with me. They won't work with the people that the majority of the Dutch have elected.
I mean, the majority of the Dutch have not elected them. It's proportionate representation.
Right. Okay, but
the biggest minority.
Yeah. Right. Okay. You're splitting hairs. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
So that's the tack he's going to go down.
Of course.
Right. So anyway.
Of course. He's going to say democracy is a lie.
Meanwhile, the BBC are in a bit of a shitstorm again, aren't they?
Aren't they in a bit of a shitstorm every day?
Oh, yeah, but.
Huh? What?
it was like that face. That face was just ridiculous, wasn't it? And anyway, in fact, we've got someone special to explain it to us.
BBC News anchor Mary-Anne Mashira was recently caught giving the middle finger live on air. Whilst it appears that she's given the middle finger directly to the camera and therefore the viewers, she's actually released a statement on Twitter saying otherwise. I was pretending to count down as the director was counting me down from 10 to 0. When we got to 1, I turned my finger around as a joke, and I didn't realise that it was going to be caught on camera. The highlight of this is actually Specsavers replying to Mary-Anne, saying that if she can't see the countdown, she should let them know.
Thank you, Sydney. By kind permission, Sydney allowed us to use that little clip.
And Sydney's main grey area, I believe, TikTok has been banned.
That's not good.
Ask me why. I will tell you exactly what she told me. I don't know.
Yeah, well, hey, Chinese-run organisation. That's why I'm not on TikTok. And won't ever be.
I mean, your face is on TikTok with over 8,000 followers.
Well, that may be the case, but I'm not on TikTok. I don't go on TikTok. My face is on many places, but that doesn't mean that I'm there. Of course she wasn't counting down.
Oh, no, she wasn't counting down. She was probably just giving the finger to the booth, though. She was probably giving the finger to the people in the booth.
Yeah, I mean, she wouldn't be giving it to the public because she just didn't think she was on air. My mate used to work for the BBC in Scotland, and he came home with a videotape once. A videotape, right? That's how long we're going back in time now. So he came home with a videotape because he watched this, and it was STV. No, it wasn't STV. It was
STV's ITV.
Yeah, it was Scotland Today, which is BBC, right? And it was Viv Lumsden, ginger girl, right? And she's going, "How's my hair? How's my hair?" All the for about 5 minutes, he goes, "How vain is she?"
Do you know what, though? I can completely empathise with that woman.
Why? Because she's ginger like you.
No, because I won't go on. I won't go on air.
How can you empathise with her? I said she was ginger.
Right, I'll tell you how if you just shut up for a minute.
I know what you're going to say.
I will not go on air unless I've had at least one bath and washed my hair thoroughly. Okay?
Yeah.
And I say at least one bath because sometimes I have two. And if we ever make money out of this show, I've already told John he's being billed. He's being billed for bath time because it is absolutely, it's essential.
Yeah, it's essential, mate. Right, let's move on, shall we? To a little bit of funnies, shall we?
A little bit of funnies. We only got a little bit of funnies.
Here's a little bit of a funny. I mean, it's obviously a meme, but Disney awarded defense contract after producing more bombs than Lockheed Martin. It's actually quite a good one, isn't it?
That's a very good one. I like that. That's a good one. And you know what? Unfortunately, with the calendar year 2023, it's absolutely correct. It really is correct.
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is.
This company can't seem to make a profit, and I'm sorry, but they can't offset the slight profits the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 made against everything else they've lost. It can't.
Yeah.
I mean, their big animated movie, Wish, to celebrate their 100th anniversary, that's poised to lose like $100 million. It's insane.
Yeah, I think the losses for the Marvels is going to be horrendous once it all comes out in the wash.
Well, the reason the Marvels lost they say, right? So Bob Iger actually went on stage and tried to make an excuse for this. He said, the Marvel...
Did you see the latest? Apparently the board are trying to oust them already.
Good.
Even before Peltz comes in.
Well, because they know that Peltz is going to cause it anyway.
Yeah.
But the point is, he went on stage and he said the reason that the Marvels is performing the way it is because they shot it during the pandemic, and thus there was no executive oversight on the set, keeping an eye on the creatives, and the creatives went a bit wild and did whatever the fuck they wanted.
No.
This is no... The reason it failed is because nobody, I mean, there were a few people, but the vast majority of people did not care for the character. They didn't go to see the first one. The first one did not make $1 billion because they wanted to see Captain fucking Marvel. The first one made $1 billion because you told them, Disney, that they needed to see it because it was sandwiched between the two biggest fucking movies of all time.
Right.
Avengers.
Okay, I know this is your wheelhouse, okay, but isn't Captain Marvel a bit of a flawed character to write into any kind of cinematic universe because it's just too powerful?
Yeah, it's far too overpowered. Absolutely, she's far too overpowered. But also, the Captain Marvel comics, they should have known this because the Carol Danvers comics do not sell. They lose money. Nobody buys that shit. So if nobody buys that shit, they're not going to go out to see the character on its own merits. So what they did this time, did you see the last-ditched effort they tried to fool people into going to see this movie?
Yeah.
They started putting out trailers with fucking Josh Brolin's Thanos in it.
Yeah. And he's not in it.
They quite literally lied to people to try to get them into the cinema.
Yeah.
And it still didn't work.
Yeah, because
they're
people
like, well, the first one made $1 billion. The second one will do better. No, it won't.
As you said, it just made $1 billion on the crest of the wave.
Yeah,
Because it was sandwiched between the two best Marvel movies ever. Yeah.
Well, the two biggest.
Biggest.
Infinity War's very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Endgame's nowhere near as good as Infinity War.
No.
But then the Spider-Man movies exist, and I actually think Marvel did a very good job with those.
Well, do you see, that's where we just differ, because I just don't like Spider-Man at all. I don't like Spider-Man, I don't like Batman. These are just guys with gimmicks. Really. Yeah, they are.
You don't get it, man. You don't get it.
That's all they are. They're guys with gimmicks.
You don't get it, man. You don't get
Batman
it.
is nothing more than a rich dude with loads of gimmicks. Spider-Man's a guy that was allegedly bitten by a radioactive spider that actually he just made a suit and strapped web slingers to his arms. Anyway, moving on. The Pentagon has grounded its entire fleet of Osprey aircraft after a fatal crash in Japan. And some would say about time too, because this thing's been killing people for 30 years. Now,
yeah, you can get a Lego Technic version of that that's almost accurate.
And does it fall apart quite often?
Yes. Yes, it does.
It just spontaneously disassembled itself. That's kind of what the Osprey does. But no laughing matter. But having said that, I don't understand why they didn't keep it quiet and just ship them off to Ukraine. Because that's what everybody else has done with their shitty equipment that doesn't work.
Yeah. So Rob Bruce says, flying around the Welsh valleys here.
Oh, fucking stay away from that, mate. Well, apparently they've all been grounded now, so if anyone's using them, it's not the US Marine Corps.
Stay away from them, my friend, indeed. They're quite, if the Lego set is anything to go by, they are quite dangerous, yeah.
Yeah. Now, we have a story here from someone who has proven in the past to be less than reliable. But
who's that?
Mr. Mercurius.
Okay.
But what's his name? Andrew Lomax. He put me onto this, and I did laugh about it. But yeah, it'd be interesting if it's true or not. So apparently, according to Mr. Mercurius, Zelensky has demanded Zelensky's resignation, and Zelensky said no. Sorry, Zelensky said no. Too many Zs. Bloody hell. But yeah,
Zelensky, Vladimir.
Well, his name's not Vladimir; it's Vladimir. Because he's a Russian speaker, and that's how his name was on his. That's how his name is on his birth certificate. It's Vladimir.
Anywho.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Anywho.
So so I mean, Ukraine is imploding as we speak, and apparently Russia is just going at it big style at the moment. So.
Well, just remember, very recently, I mentioned this on the last show, but I believe it's worth mentioning again. The mayor of Kiev has called Vladimir Zelensky a ruthless dictator who's just as bad as Putin.
Having said that, did you see what Lloyd Austin said to Congress.
No.
If you don't give us more money, right, to send to Ukraine in the form of aid, we'll be sending your daughters and sons to fight for them. And they've also said if it looks like Russia's winning, we'll have no option but for America to step in.
At that point,
this guy needs that guy needs to be removed.
I was going to say at that point, that's not democracy. First of all, and any illusion that is democracy is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I'll just say the same to the Americans as I keep trying to allude to the Russians and the Ukrainians. You know, you do have the ability to say no, but unfortunately they won't. They won't say no. And people like Lloyd Austin will send people to their deaths and will not feel bad about it because they're not going to go. No. They're not going to go and get on the front line. Zelensky, Putin, whoever the leader of Hamas is, Netanyahu, none of these people are getting on their front lines, are they?
No, it's not like the old days.
No, they're sending their people to die for them. And it's...
Yeah, they are. Right, do you enjoy your Christmas dinner, Ben? Do you?
I love my Christmas dinner.
Do you suffer from a rare condition known as misophonia? And I think I might, to a slight degree, suffer from this. Because apparently this condition called misophonia says, I can't stand eating Christmas dinner with my family because of rare condition. It makes me angry. Why many people look forward to tucking into Christmas dinner with their loved ones, Louis Lansbury is dreading her family's feast and says it's a nightmare with her rare condition. So apparently she goes down, eats dinner, and then rushes away from the table back to her room, sticks her headphones on. Okay? Now, apparently...
It just sounds like a teenager.
Yes, I know. But her condition is she can't stand the sound of other people eating.
Ah, my son's like this.
Now, I cannot stand the sound of people, or I can't stand the sound of people that eat with their mouth open. That do that.
Yeah, I get you.
Drives me nuts. Now, can you imagine? And if this had been an Antarctic outpost, this would probably have resulted in an ice pick injury. Okay. Do you remember that one? But 3 o'clock in the morning, it's peacetime. Myself and the person I'm working with are in the canteen, which is basically the room at the back with the lockers in it because it's a shop front.
Yeah.
Coinning police station. So the shop front is the desk and everything where people come in, and the back is just lockers, a big table, a cooker, and a sink. So we're having our dinner, and it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm eating my sandwiches as I would. I masticate with my mouth closed. Masticate, people. Henry, and that's his real name, chews with his mouth open, right? And he's given it big licks this night in particular. He's given it. And eventually I said, for fuck's sake, Henry, can you not shut your mouth when you're chewing? So Henry grabs his stuff, storms off to the front office in a huff, and sits down and eats his dinner out the front in full view of any member of the public who would happen to come by. But, you know, at 3 o'clock in the morning, there's not that many.
You're very mean. No, that was a very mean. No. Welcome
to Scotland.
That was a very, very mean thing you did, John. And I am mandating that you go sit on a fucking naughty step.
No, I'm not going to do that. I tell it as it is, mate. I tell it as it is.
Rob Bruce he says maybe a rabbit hole on World Countries Christmas dinners. That doesn't have to be a rabbit hole. That could just be an episode, because I'm a bit of a Christmas dinner aficionado because I like my meat, you know. And hey, boys, girls, don't knock it till you've tried it.
I'll tell you what, that's a brilliant segue, because someone else that likes his meat is this guy who used to be married to Pete Doherty. I thought that was a cracker. Somebody posted this on Twitter and said, "Do you remember when Tony Blair used to be married to Pete Doherty?" And it does look like that. Do you know who Pete Doherty is?
Yes, I do, yeah.
He's right there. The old cottager himself. Now, I found this strange book title, and I just wondered if you'd ever been in this one, Ben. Is that you? Is that you in the background? The twat who fucked up our party with their shitty guitar.
Not only is that me in the background, but I've got a bit of a confession to make. When you finished your beer.
Go on. No, go on. Go on.
It's an autobiography.
So here's another one. This was a good one as well. Mr. Christensen, I think from somewhere in Scandinavia, says an unnamed shopper has branded Aldi ludicrous after he was asked for ID when buying meat pies. Not meat pies, mince pies. Especially selected all butter almond mince tarts contain 4.5% brandy, but they don't contain 4.5% brandy, right? You know what I mean? I don't think they're 4.5% brandy, are they? Anyway, they cost £2.49, and some dope was under the impression the Challenge 25 rule applied when buying them. I need ID before you can buy. But actually, do you need ID before you can buy liqueurs?
Yes, of course you do.
Do you? Well, then this is not funny. This is accurate.
It's absolutely accurate.
So the guy in Aldi's done the right thing, so Mr. Christensen is wrong.
Yes, Mr. Christensen is wrong. And not only is Mr. Christensen wrong, if the young guy at Aldi had sold
he'd be breaking the law.
He would, and he would be liable. He would be liable.
Good grief, Ben. That's fantastic. I think we'll need to write to Mr. Christensen and tell him that he's mistaken in this. And the guy was not a dope, and he was correct to ask for ID.
He was correct, because in retail, especially here in England, I don't know how strict it is in Scotland. I think it's probably worse these days. But you are essentially threatened by your management all of the time. You know, if you fuck up the Challenge 25, it's your ass on the line. It's your job on the line. You are personally liable for a criminal conviction. You are personally liable for a fine. And so, of course, they're going to be overzealous. And they're going to do it if they see anything that contains alcohol, knives, smoking, tobacco, paraphernalia, anything. They're going to do it because they don't want to fuck their lives up by making an incorrect decision.
Yeah. Anyway, that became quite boring after it was enough funny. So, you've heard of Bard? Have you?
Yeah.
Google's AI.
Yeah.
Apparently it suggests that a rabbit hole was right and the Apollo 11 moon landing photos are fabricated.
Yeah, but Google's AI says a lot of things.
Yeah, well, all AI says a lot of things. Nobody's saying if it's right or wrong, but...
You know what? I'll give you an example of some of the things that I have seen with my own eyes that people have been sending me screenshots of what Google AI has said. And you can tell me whether or not they're true.
Go on.
It said that there is a group on Twitter. Google AI has said this. In fact, I'll read this to you verbatim if you give me a minute. Give me a minute. Because I've got the screenshot. I'll read it to you properly because this is quite funny. Where are we looking? There, we're going to go there. We're going to scroll up. Sorry about this, guys. So Google AI says this about the Mutton Crew. It says, the term Mutton Crew trolls is not a widely used term and appears to be primarily associated with a single online group. This group is known for engaging in disruptive and antagonistic behavior, often using inflammatory language and personal attacks. They have targeted a variety of individuals and groups, including journalists, politicians, and activists. The group's origins are unclear, but they appear to have been active since at least 2022. They are believed to be composed of a small number of anonymous individuals who operate primarily on social media platforms such as Twitter and Reddit. The group's motives are also unclear, but they seem to derive pleasure from causing distress and disruption. They may also hold political or ideological beliefs that they seek to promote through their trolling activities. The Martin Crew trolls have been widely condemned for their behavior, which has been described as harmful and disrespectful. However, they have also been defended by some as exercising their right to free speech. It is important to note that the term Mutton Crew Trolls is not a formal designation and is not recognized by all internet communities. However, it is a term that has been used to describe this particular group of individuals, and it reflects the negative perception that many people have of their behavior. Google AI'd right. Google AI'd right. The moon landing was... Yeah,
It's Google AI'd right. It's nailed it.
Nailed it. Nailed it.
Nailed it. I tell you who else nailed it. Ed actually nailed it today. He came out with what I thought was a very good analogy, right?
Yeah.
So it's his rendition of Keith, right?
Mm-hmm.
Thinking you can change the country by voting for Labour is like trying to play a guitar by urinating on it. That's pretty. Have you ever tried that, Ben?
I mean, I can't say I have.
I don't think it would work very well. I mean, you might get some sounds out of an electric one if you tried that.
Maybe, or the stream of piss plus the electric pickups and the electric current might send you to the emergency room.
It might.
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
Probably not, because it's not an active thing. You don't plug in a guitar. You obviously plug in the sound cord, but you don't plug it into the mains, for example.
Yeah.
You should be all right, but, I wouldn't try it.
No, I wouldn't try it either. I'm going to play an advert that someone made on Twitter, and I think it's pretty damn good, actually.
We've all had a tough year. The cost of living crisis. Pandemic not long gone. And now, a recession. So this Christmas, come to one of our stores and spend the last of your money on a load of shite you don't need. Yeah, fill your boots with plastic crap that'll be in a landfill before the end of the year. Oh, and buy some mince pies as well. You like mince pies, don't you, you fat prick? Where else you gonna go? Your local shops, they're all closed. Because of us, we've got you by the balls. So look at this fine image, listen to the music, feel all Christmassy and give us your money. Super.
So yeah, I think that's pretty accurate, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I mean, it's sad, really, isn't it? It is sad.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty damn accurate indeed.
And the thing is, we're all to blame. We're all to blame because what do? We go and shop in supermarkets.
Yeah. No.
We don't take that extra step of going around 3 or 4 different, or 5 or 6 different shops and getting what we need to live on, because it's actually all still there. There's still butchers, there's still bakers, there's still grocers.
Not really around here. Not really.
Well, I think maybe if you go and have a look, you might be able to find some. But certainly, there's no need to go to the supermarket in many, many towns, right? But we all do because it's convenient.
Of course, it's convenient. And if you guys would like to take that extra step, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And of course, before we do depart, there are other ways you can support us. Ko-fi, ko-fi.com/chasing dissent, patreon.com/chasing dissent, or you can join us here on YouTube. You can also, boys and girls, you can fondle my balls. I've got a couple of them down there. A couple of my balls down.
Do we have no new balls today, Ben?
No new balls today, which is fine because
Come on, people. Buy the balls. Buy the balls.
I mean, you just told them that the cost of living crisis and all that shit, and then you're like, buy our balls.
Well, no, I played them a video. I didn't tell them anything.
Sponsor my balls, people. Come on, my balls.
Yeah,
my balls are lonely.
We're an essential service.
But if you do wish to sponsor my balls, it's a £10 donation or more to paypal.me/WillyBricks, and you give us your name and give us a small message to put on the ball, and it goes on the Chasing Dissent Christmas tree, where it joins all of its brothers and sisters right there. You can kind of see them behind me, and yeah. If you'd like to.
Right.
That's how you do that.
And I've got one item left.
Uh-huh.
I think it seems to be a new trend in sweaters, and I think Julie, if you're listening, despite me asking for the elf, but Ben getting it, this one I would definitely give to Ben. This would suit Ben absolutely. I think you'd wear that well, mate. You would wear that well with aplomb.
He's got it. He's spot on.
So
he's spot on. He's absolutely spot on. You know what? We could introduce that next season. John, you can have your own John's Jugs, where you get sponsored to have a pint. We could have Ben's Balls and John's Jugs next year. Yeah, we'll do that next year. We'll do that next Christmas.
But you know what? We don't want to be in competition, people. You know, so that's why I've stepped away from any fundraising for myself this year. And
what we
left
do?
it all to Ben's.
Yeah, because John does get a cut from Ben's Balls.
Well, that recently negotiated.
Recently negotiating. John does like to have a bit of my balls every now and again.
Yeah, I do. You know, I like
he
to keep in touch.
Julie says she needs to get another elf kit for you, John. You have sufficiently browbeated and guilt tripped her.
Don't be silly, Julie. Just don't be silly, lass. Anyway,
all you need to do is hit the goddamn like button.
How many likes we got?
11.
That's not bad.
John, I'm gonna have a swing on my guitar.
That's been a nice evening, I think. I've enjoyed myself. I don't know about you. I mean, I've got one video here that I could play. It might get us banned, but I think it's quite reasonable.
Yeah, don't do that then.
No, it won't get us banned. You get yourself ready, and I'll just play this quick video, and then you can say goodbye to the good people.
You can say goodbye. I'm done talking.
Right. Okay. I'd just like to, a little bit of sport. Let's finish the night with a little bit of sport.
Oh! Hey, but what the fuck you doing, man? What do you mean? What was on you, brother, man?
Oh! That's a bit harsh. A bit harsh. Oh!
There you go. That was clean. Don't forget about your right. There you go. Move. Move. Wait. Don't let him get in.
Come on, you've had your fun for far too long.
Okay. Brutal. We had brutal, weren't they? They were really going at it. I mean, I've seen boxing, but that was quite intense, considering the small stature involved. What's up, Ben? What's up, mate? Right, people, here's a quickie then. What you wanting? All Out or the Christmas outro?
Christmas. It's fucking Christmas. Give him Christmas.
Oh, we're on Echo.
That was me. I did that on purpose.
Oh, you're on Reverb. Well, we're on Reverb and Echo. There you go. Right, okay. Let's go for it. So thank you one and all for attending this Friday Night Live with Jen. With John and oh my God, we've now got a name now. Oh no, it's Jen. We've become a couple. Anyway, it's Friday Night Live with John and Ben, and thank you for attending this, because as always, it's been great for you.
This is not a Christmas. This is not a
This is an ode to the mild breeze. Louise. The world is changing all the time. That's why I climbed on the M25 and fucked up my whole life. I haven't written any more yet.
Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me when I'm falling. Cover up my scars, flip the handlebars. Crashing in my car, wake up in a bar. I'll be a superstar, just on my avatar. This world is so bizarre, empty out the reservoir. Yeah, I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? Sometimes you need to let loose, grab juice, get goose, tattoos, taboos, get screwed. Loosen up, buttercup, all those hate comments will never make you feel enough. We're all adequate graduates, hearts full of calluses, but we know calculus. Damn, ain't that fabulous? Can't wait to apply all those mathematicus. But we can't get a job that pays us enough. I'm about to pop off. Fuck you, you're lost. We all know that we never really want a boss. So I'ma do what I want to, something I can't undo. Yeah, I'ma do what I want to, something I can't undo. I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this